Just when the K-pop world thought they had heard everything, the latest news coming from America took fans by surprise. A well-known fashion brand that has teamed up with BTS has just made a statement that invites controversy. What they convey is not just about future products or collaborations, but something much more personal: Jungkook's condition during his military service. What's more surprising, they claim to have heard this directly from Jin. This statement raises a big question. What did the genie really reveal to them? Is there something the public doesn't know about Jungkook's state in the military? In an exclusive event in New York, Jin was seen attending a closed-door meeting with a number of big names in the fashion world. The attention-grabbing brand, whose name some sources are reluctant to name, has been known to have a close relationship with BTS for years. However, the highlight is not the clothes that Jin wears, but the content of the conversation, which seems to be very touching. A source from the show leaked that Jin seriously talked about the physical and mental condition of one of the BTS members who is still active in the military. Without naming names, those present immediately linked the story to Jungkook, who has been known to undergo military service with great intensity. He spoke very emotionally. "You can feel the worry and responsibility as the oldest brother," said one witness. However, what exactly did Jin say so that a fashion brand felt the need to speak up? In an unexpected moment, Jin, the oldest member of BTS, took center stage at an exclusive event in the United States. A closed-door meeting with the great figures of the fashion industry suddenly turned into an emotional conversation that revealed something that shook the hearts of those present. However, what Jin conveyed was not just casual talk about a career or future projects. Instead of discussing himself, Jin chose to share a shocking story about the condition of one BTS member who is undergoing military service. With a serious face and an emotional tone, he seemed to open something that had been tightly closed from the public. It is not often that a figure like Jin, BTS's oldest known member who is quiet and full of responsibility, speaks openly about the personal conditions of his group members, especially at official events abroad. However, this time Jin did something unexpected, revealing a very emotional and perhaps sensitive thing about Jungkook in front of the big figures of the fashion world in America. Jin's honesty in the meeting in the United States has become a major highlight. As the oldest member of BTS, Jin is known to be careful in choosing words, especially when it comes to the personal lives of his group members. However, this time he seems unable to contain the worry that haunts him. In his conversation with fashion industry figures, Jin sincerely talked about the struggle of one of the BTS members who is undergoing military service. Although he did not mention names, the emotional tone and content of his speech convinced everyone present that he was referring to Jungkook. According to witnesses present, the genie spoke in a very touching tone. He seemed to be holding back his emotions, but obviously there was something heavy on his mind. When he spoke, there was silence in the room. "Everyone is listening," said one of the guests. Another source added that Jin described the situation with simple but meaningful sentences. He said, "It's not easy for him, but he never complains. He kept going, even when the road was very difficult." These words conjure up the image of a Jungkook who always gives his all, even in conditions that may go beyond his limits. This genie's honesty is a reminder that behind the power and charisma of an idol, there is a vulnerability that is rarely seen by the public. What made this conversation even more jarring was the suggestion that Jin was referring to Jungkook, who has been known for being the youngest member, but often shouldered high expectations from the public. While no specific details were disclosed, some guests felt that Jin might be trying to warn about that there is no psychological impact that occurs when a global top artist like Jungkook goes into military service. Because based on the experience of Jin himself, who had already completed his military service, there's no denying that Jungkook is one of the biggest fashion icons of his generation. Every outfit she wears, whether in a concert, photo shoot, or even just an Instagram upload, is always a hot topic of conversation on social media. Some brands even report an increase in sales of up to 300% just from the moment in which Jungkook is seen wearing their products. In other words, Jungkook is not only a singer and dancer, he is the golden boy who defines a new standard in global marketing. However, conscription brings unique challenges. How can a celebrity with a busy promotional schedule maintain its relevance and commercial impact while in a military world full of strict rules? especially with rumors that previously mentioned that some brands experienced a decrease in the value of the campaign after Jungkook was no longer able to participate directly. Fashion brand parties that meet with Jin seem to understand this potential risk. They may have imagined the worst-case scenario: a Jungkook who is exhausted, demotivated, or even facing health problems that threaten his long-term career. So, Jin's statement became the answer they needed, at least for now. Although Jin tried to ease concerns, some reports from unofficial sources actually sparked further curiosity. Some fans who were near the training site reported that Jungkook was seen undergoing very strenuous training, even for the standards of the South Korean military. But surprisingly, she kept smiling and even encouraged her friends. This story certainly makes fans on the one hand feel proud, but on the other hand, it also raises new concerns. What if this physical load is too heavy? What if the intense military schedule affected his state of health? Not a few question whether the agency, HYB, is monitoring this condition seriously enough. The news about Jin's meeting with representatives of famous fashion brands in America immediately became a hot topic on social media. Fans, who are always hungry for updates about the BTS members, reacted with a variety of emotions, from relief to questioning skepticism. Many fans were relieved to hear that Jin made sure Jungkook was okay. The figure of Jin, known as Big Hyung in the group, is considered to have performed his role very well as a protector and bridge of information. Jin has always been a big brother who protects his younger siblings, even off stage. "We are happy to hear from him directly that Jungkook is doing well," wrote one fan on Twitter, complete with ARMY's signature purple heart emoji. Not a few also praised Jin's steadfastness in providing a sense of security, both to his younger siblings and to those involved in the collaboration with BTS. "He knows exactly what to say to make everything feel better. Jin is a true diamond in BTS," another commented. Another controversy that arose was the allegation that this fashion brand deliberately used Jungkook's name to attract public attention. Some fans felt that their encounter with Jin might not have been entirely a matter of pure concern, but rather that there was a hidden commercial interest behind it. Do they really care about Jungkook, or is this just their way of making sure their name stays relevant to BTS? Wrote a fan in a suspicious tone. The fashion brand knew very well that mentioning Jungkook's name would instantly become big news. In addition, there are fears that pressure from commercial partners could weigh on BTS members, including Jungkook, who is currently serving in the military. The military should be a time for them to focus on themselves, not on the expectations of the outside world. "This brand should be more careful," said a senior fan who is known for being vocal on BTS-related issues. Despite the controversy, support for Jin continued to flow. Many understand that the genie probably just wanted to give peace and protect the good name of the group, without bad intentions. Jin did his best in this complicated situation. He is the best brother that Jungkook and the other members can have.